There are cars that roar, there are cars that shine, and then there are legends that make your heart skip a beat. But what if I told you there exists a Ferrari unlike any other, not made of steel or carbon fiber but carved entirely out of wood, and yet it breathes fire like a living beast? Yes, today you're going to witness the unbelievable story of the wooden Ferrari that isn't just a car. It's a fiery masterpiece that defies logic and looks like it was pulled straight out of a dream. From the way it was crafted to the moment it unleashed flames that lit up the night, this is not just about a machine, it's about a phenomenon that bends the boundaries of what we think a car can be. So hold on tight, because once you enter the world of this fire-breathing Ferrari, you'll never look at cars the same way again. It all began in a small workshop hidden away in the corner of an old town, where a craftsman obsessed with speed and artistry spent years chasing a vision nobody else believed in. While others worked with metals, alloys, and high-tech equipment, he picked up nothing but wood, chisels, and a burning determination. The idea sounded impossible, to create a Ferrari out of wood that wouldn't just stand as a static sculpture, but would come alive like a raging beast. He wanted the sleek curves, the sharp edges, the identity of Ferrari, but in a form no one had ever dared attempt. For months he cut, shaped, sanded, and polished every panel, treating the wood like it was sacred. Each groove carried the shape of passion, and every joint whispered with precision. Slowly, the body of the Ferrari emerged. Long hood, aggressive stance, every iconic detail captured not in steel, but in oak and mahogany, giving the car a majestic yet primal aura. But the real madness wasn't in the body, it was in the heart. A Ferrari isn't just about its looks, it's about the soul that roars beneath the hood. This craftsman didn't just want a wooden car that rolled, he wanted one that breathed fire. And so, hidden inside that handcrafted masterpiece, he built a custom ignition system unlike anything the world had seen. Pipes ran through the body, chambers lined with heat-resistant clay were tucked inside the wooden frame, and in the front grille, an outlet was engineered with surgical accuracy. The goal was insane, to make the Ferrari exhale flames like a dragon without burning itself to ash. People laughed at him, called it a fantasy, said it would never work, but he refused to quit. For every failure, he rebuilt, reinforced, and redesigned until one night, the impossible finally happened. The town gathered outside his workshop, drawn by the whispers of something extraordinary about to unfold. Under the dim lights, the craftsman unveiled the wooden Ferrari. At first, it was the beauty that stunned them. Its polished wooden skin glowing like molten amber, every curve alive with detail, every line an echo of Ferrari's legacy, yet with a raw and natural charm that steel could never capture. Then came the moment that silenced the crowd. The craftsman sat behind the wooden wheel, turned the ignition, and for a moment, the world held its breath. The car rumbled, wood creaked under pressure, and then with a thunderous roar, a stream of fire burst from the front, lighting up the night sky. The people gasped, some stepped back in shock, others screamed in excitement, but no one could take their eyes off it. The wooden Ferrari was alive, and it was breathing fire. From that moment on, the legend of the fire-breathing Ferrari spread like wildfire. Videos were shared, stories twisted, and soon it became more than a car. It was a symbol of defiance. In a world obsessed with high-tech speed machines, this creation stood as a reminder that artistry and imagination could break even the strongest barriers. It wasn't about horsepower or lap times, it was about raw emotion, about building something so outrageous that it couldn't be ignored. And people from across the globe started traveling to that little workshop just to see the spectacle with their own eyes. They wanted to stand in front of it, hear the creak of its wooden frame, smell the mix of burning fuel and charred wood, and witness the flames that erupted like a heartbeat from another world. As the fame grew, so did the myths. Some said the wooden Ferrari had a spirit inside it, that it wasn't just machinery, but a living creature bound to its creator. Others swore that when the fire poured out, you could hear the car scream like a dragon. A few even believed it was cursed, that the flames were too wild, too unnatural, and one day it would consume everything around it. But for the craftsman, it was none of that. It was his gift to the world, proof that no material, no limit, no doubt could stop a dream from taking form. He would fire it up at festivals, competitions, and late-night gatherings, always leaving the crowd hypnotized by the sight of flames licking the night air, while the Ferrari's wooden body stood untouched. Almost magical in its endurance, the wooden Ferrari that breathes fire became more than just a one-time wonder. It turned into an icon that challenged the very meaning of innovation. Why should wood be weak? Why should cars always follow the rules? Why should fire be feared when it can also mesmerize? This machine answered all those questions without saying a single word. It spoke through the hiss of flames, the crackle of wood under stress, and the awe in people's eyes as they witnessed something they never thought possible. Even today, the legend continues, whispered in the corners of old towns and passed along like a secret between dreamers and believers. Some claim the craftsman still takes the wooden Ferrari out into the hills at night, where the silence is broken only by the sound of creaking wood and the low rumble of a hidden fire within. They say if you stand on the edge of the valley, you can see it blaze across the horizon, flames bursting out like the breath of a mythical creature, lighting up the darkness in a way no ordinary machine ever could. Others insist it has been locked away in secrecy, hidden in a vault, or buried beneath layers of stone, because the world isn't ready for a car that defies its own nature. They fear the fire, the unpredictability, the uncontrollable spirit that the Ferrari holds within its wooden chest. And then there are those who believe it is alive, not in the way engines roar or wheels turn, but alive in the sense that it has a will of its own, choosing when and where it wants to appear, guarding itself like a guardian of forgotten dreams. No matter which story you choose to believe, one thing cannot be denied: the legend of the fire-breathing wooden Ferrari refuses to fade. It isn't just about a vehicle, it's about a boundary broken, a line crossed between the ordinary and the extraordinary, between what we build and what we never thought could exist. It stands as proof that sometimes the wildest visions carve themselves into reality, that sometimes the impossible doesn't just sit in our minds, it roars to life, breathing flames into the night sky. And that is why even those who have never seen it swear they can hear it, in the crackle of a bonfire, in the distant roar of thunder, in the sound of wind rattling through wooden beams, a reminder that the wooden Ferrari is still out there, watching, waiting, alive. So whenever you think of Ferrari, don't just picture the sleek red beast tearing down racetracks at impossible speeds, or the polished metal icons gleaming under showroom lights. Somewhere, hidden away from the glare of cameras and the reach of skeptics, exists another Ferrari. A Ferrari with a body of wood, carved with patience, polished with love, and hardened with fire. A Ferrari with a soul that doesn't just run on fuel, but burns on pure passion. A soul that refuses to be tamed. It is a car that doesn't just drive, it breathes. It lives. It roars with the fury of something ancient and untouchable. And in every spark, every flame, every gasp from those who have witnessed it, the wooden Ferrari that breathes fire reminds us of the simple truth. Legends aren't always forged in metal, sometimes they are carved in wood, and sometimes they burn their way into eternity. If this fiery journey gave you chills, and you want to see more unbelievable stories like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because the next masterpiece we uncover might just be even more mind-blowing. Stay tuned and never stop chasing the impossible.